Hey there, this is Pietro. So this is a digital drawing I did a few years ago, quite a few years ago. I'd say probably about 10 years ago, before there was even such thing as an Apple Pencil. I did this on my iPad with a digital stylus. Well, I guess it wasn't a digital stylus. It was a stylus that I got to use digitally on the iPad. There were a few companies out there that were making them, and I was giving this one a shot. So it was the first time drawing without my finger on an iPad in this program Procreate. So this is the first video of my channel. This isn't one of my favorite drawings, but I thought it'd be interesting just to start with something that I always loved drawing, which was Spider-Man. So you can see from the original sketch that I transferred into Procreate, it really started to morph as it goes along, and I overextended that 3D effect, that wide angle lens effect. From the original drawing, as you see, I really overdid it with the hand and the forearm. They're extended a little too far. It gives a bit of a neat effect depending on what you're going for. For me, I pushed it. I was trying to push the limits and I pushed it a little too far. So the drawing was kind of interesting. I added the leg in the back, going into the back distance. That was surprisingly easy with the foreshortening there to make it look okay. I don't think it looks great. Same with the leg in the foreground. I just wanted to start with something. I'm going to start this YouTube channel drawing a variety of different things, mainly pencil work. I'm getting into colored pencil drawings, and my background heavily consists of superhero drawings, but I was pretty good at pretty much drawing anything. But I always had that passion for superheroes. I always loved the anatomy, the foreshortening, and Spider-Man is an interesting character because Spider-Man is drawn like no other character. You can't put Captain America in this pose and make it seem as natural. You can't put Doctor Strange in this pose and make it seem as natural. Spider-Man's unique compared to most other characters. He has a sort of coiled body language that you get to see from him, where he's always kind of in a coiled, cramped little position, whether he's clinging to a ceiling or he's on the floor or on a wall. He's usually kind of coiled up, looking over his shoulder, like looking at whatever's happening around him. And he was always an interesting character to draw that way. And the interesting thing about that was I spent so many years trying to get good at drawing Spider-Man in all these really dynamic, quirky poses that the one thing I fell behind on was being able to draw a character that looked like he could leap off the page while he was just plain standing there. So as far as my quality goes, this was really just a sketch I flushed out. It was an old sketch from maybe 15 years ago that I flushed out maybe 10 years ago or so, and maybe back around 2014 or 2013 or so. And I was just really experimenting with the program. You'll see in this video, I'm learning the program Procreate. The problem with this program and me with digital drawing is I go to it, then I step away from it for months or years at a time, and then I go back to it and I have to relearn everything I learned the first time. So I always go through this learning curve when learning Procreate. So you can especially see it when I get to my painting of this drawing, that it really has a lot of room for improvement as far as how I'm implementing the techniques that I want for a dissolve from one color to another. The final effect was good, but I'm sure there's way more efficient ways to do it. And I'm going to be learning that part of drawing as I go through this YouTube channel, getting more familiar and being more consistent with digital drawing. Now, when it comes to doing things by hand, that's not really an issue for me. Most of my background is in superheroes and pencil and ink work, mainly pencil. So I'm pretty good at gradients when it comes to pencil. I've always been into that. And you'll see here, there's a big mistake I made. And I ended up coloring the whole thing red because I was learning the program. So overall, it's something that was just kind of fun. I was really having fun with this. As far as a technical drawing for me goes, this is probably a 5 out of 10 for what I can do. You'll see some of my other drawings come up, and sometimes it might just be a photo every now and then to show you what I'm capable of. When I'm showing you a drawing like this, that is kind of okay, right? It's not really at my skill level. Even at the time when I drew this, I was just really experimenting. But nonetheless, it was a fun drawing to do. It was interesting coloring because this is one of the first times I was ever coloring a drawing that I ever did. I was always more of a black and white sort of an artist when it came to pencil and ink. So this allowed me to start coloring my work, which I thought was kind of fun. There's lots of room for improvement, like I said, when it comes to learning the programs. And the neat thing about this channel is I'm a registered massage therapist, so I have a strong history in my anatomy. So I'll be going through lots of videos on like tutorials on how to not only draw something and make it look good, but trying to make it anatomically correct. So the foreshortening is clearly off in this, but that was sort of the effect I was going for. Like I said, I was really pushing the boundaries and making it look like a wide angle drawing with his hand reaching right out for you. And it looks a bit on the goofy side in my opinion, but some people might like it. So you're always your own worst critic when it comes to art. I would probably redo this in a different way if I was to draw it now. Probably sticking closer to the original sketch. I think everything in the proportions gave a bit of a wide angle effect without pushing the boundaries a little too far. But overall, I had fun doing this. It was a neat little experiment. And, you'll see later on after my different shades of reds and blues, I was trying to go for a color in the background that would help this drawing to pop a little more. So I went with a bit of a canary yellow or somewhere along those lines within the spectrum of yellow to really keep this like primary colors and to try and make this leap off the page a little bit more. So yeah, it was interesting trying to do the webs digitally. It was new for me doing it digitally, and I've learned some shortcuts through the years when it comes to drawing. Something as simple as putting webs on Spider-Man, or as simple as just working with anatomy, how to make drawings easier. And that's one of the things I want to show people in this channel is you can do particular things and try and get an effect with those particular styles. And sometimes you can play with it, and sometimes you have to just back off a little bit. And it's all subjective. What I might think is great, someone else might think sucks, and vice versa. So some 10-year-old might look at this and go, this is the best drawing ever. And some 25-year-olds might look at this and go, this is the best drawing ever. And it's completely subjective. So I just want to help people along when it comes to anatomy and drawing. You'll see in my videos, upcoming videos anyway, I'll get more detailed about how to work the anatomy and how to make the anatomy look not just accurate, but natural. Because when you move a limb around, it completely changes how that muscle moves. We want to try and make things look natural as well as anatomically correct while we're still trying to make it leap off the page. Anyway, thanks for watching and thanks for listening, and I hope to see you in future videos.